Hi, I'm Joe Levinger, and I'm a reporter with The Real Deal based in Austin. Last week, I spent some time at Travis County Courthouse digging through documents to try to figure out what's going on with StoryBuilt. If this is your first time hearing about the company, this is what you need to know. StoryBuilt is an Austin-based developer that took a stunning fall from grace in August. That month, it entered receivership because its finances had fallen apart and the company was struggling to pay some of its bills. It was shocking news. StoryBuilt was an extremely dynamic, fast-growing developer with ambitions to become a prop tech giant too, but now very little of that company remains. The Los Angeles-based receiver that is now in charge of the company's assets wants to sell off 28 developments and development sites that are in various stages of completion. He says the portfolio is worth about $2 billion, but many of the assets are just development sites, so there are still plenty of ifs on the table. Now, looking through records from that receivership, I found that some of the most powerful people in Texas politics and asset management are wrapped up in the wreckage. Let's start with the Cradocks. Former Texas House Speaker Tom Craddock, his son Tommy, and his daughter Christy, who is now the chair of the powerful Texas Railroad Commission, argue that the receiver is blowing up a deal that they brokered for one StoryBuilt project. They say that they and one other investor put in about $4 million to Project Goose, which is one of StoryBuilt's developments in Dallas. Earlier this year, Tommy Craddock apparently introduced StoryBuilt to Stillwater Capital, which is an ambitious real estate firm also based in Dallas. Stillwater sent a letter of intent to buy the project for about $10 million, conditioned on the Craddocks and the other investor rolling their $4 million into the new project. But then the receiver came along and everything got a whole lot more complicated. See, the receiver has told the court that StoryBuilt was getting a little creative with its money. It might have been using funds invested for some specific projects on other developments, he wrote in a recent filing. While the receiver conducts a forensic accounting of StoryBuilt's books, it wants to collect the money from all of the asset sales into a big pot to be divided out later, and not release those funds immediately upon sale. The Craddocks and Stillwater are now saying that if they can't get access to their money to roll it over right away, then the deal is dead, and Stillwater will try to buy the property for about $8 million, roughly $2 million less than the agreed upon price. Now, where the Craddocks take issue with one sale, Partners Group is pushing back against the entire sale. Partners is a giant Swiss-based asset manager with some $142 billion in assets under management. It was StoryBuilt's biggest financial partner and involved in 17 joint ventures with the developer. They argue that the receiver promised to consult them before sending out any marketing materials for the portfolio sale, but when the receiver sent out a press release announcing the sale, Partners apparently was not consulted. It argues now that the receiver failed to check in with them, leading to a number of calls from worried investors and would-be buyers, even though Partners claims that it has to consent to any sale of interest in its joint ventures. As I was looking through all these documents, a name kept coming up that I had never heard of. GET Marketing LLC was a Houston-based company that owned a significant amount of StoryBuilt shares and had initiated the request for a receiver to take over StoryBuilt's assets in the first place. I couldn't even find a website for Get Marketing, which is pretty strange for a marketing company. And one name, Trey Cook, was attached to the LLC in a number of documents. Other Cooks held significant amount of StoryBuilt shares too, but I couldn't find anything else that explained their outsized role in StoryBuilt's receivership. Now, this is a fast-evolving story with new details coming what seemed like every day, so stay tuned to The Real Deal for more on how it all works out.